Welcome to AI Brief. This is episode 150, and I'm Amin.
And I'm Leah. It's great to dive into this week's sources with you.
It really is. I mean, it has been an absolutely enormous week in AI.
Totally.
It feels like we're just building on momentum from, Microsoft Build, Google I/O, and of course that big OpenAI I/O acquisition. The pace is just staggering.
It really is. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive. We're going through your source material to really cut through the noise and get to what actually matters.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Right. So we'll start with the biggest releases, Anthropic's new Claude 4 models. Then we'll look at those intriguing rumors around OpenAI and Jony Ive.
That mystery AI device, yeah.
Exactly. And then Apple's reported rush to get AI glasses out the door.
Okay.
After that, we'll touch on a whole range of other significant AI updates that popped up this week.
And finish off with some trending AI tools, things people might find useful.
Precisely. Tools pulled from the sources you might want to check out. The goal here is really just to extract the key insights, help you make sense of this fast-moving landscape.
Sounds good. Let's get into it then.
Okay, so first up, Anthropic. They made quite a splash, launching their next-gen Claude 4 models, Opus and Sonnet.
Right. Claude 4. What's the main story here? What are the big advancements they're highlighting?
Well, the sources really emphasize this idea of advanced reasoning, particularly step-by-step thinking using external tools. And they're making big claims about autonomous coding.
Autonomous coding. So more than just generating snippets, actually working through problems.
That seems to be the idea. Positioning Claude 4, especially the Opus model, as more of a collaborator, it can apparently work through complex multi-step tasks.
Okay, interesting. And the source material mentioned performance,
Well,
specifically on coding tasks.
yeah, this is where Opus 4 supposedly shines, scored 72.5% on the SWE-bench benchmark. That's quite high.
72.5%. Wow.
And reports suggest it can code autonomously for hours. Sonnet 4 is essentially the upgraded version of their faster, more cost-effective model.
For hours.
Yeah.
That level of persistence is different.
Yeah.
How does it manage that? Is it memory? Context?
Seems like it. Enhanced memory functions are key, letting it maintain context across much longer interactions. Crucial for something like coding.
Makes sense.
They also talked about these hybrid modes. You can get an instant answer, or you can have the model show its work, its reasoning step by step.
Oh, that's useful. Seeing the thought process. And wasn't there news about their Claude Code platform too?
Yes, exactly. That's now generally available. It lets Claude work right inside your terminal, integrating into the developer workflow.
Okay.
And the claim there is pretty bold, maintaining focus for 7 hours straight in that environment.
7 hours. And Anthropic used this internally, right?
Yeah.
To speed up onboarding?
Yeah, they said it cut technical onboarding time from like 2 or 3 weeks down to just a few days.
That's a tangible result. Any other updates? API improvements?
Uh-huh. Web search capabilities, an MCP connector, and extended prompt caching were mentioned too.
Okay, so pulling back a bit.
Yeah.
Why does this Anthropic launch matter this week? What's the takeaway?
Well, first, it shows Anthropic is definitely still a major player. They're directly claiming the world's best coding model, putting pressure on competitors.
Right.
And second, it really highlights this big industry shift towards agentic AI, systems that don't just respond, but act and reason over extended tasks. Anthropic's collaborator stage, as they call it. Claude 4 looks built for that.
Okay, collaborator AI. Let's switch gears now to, less concrete news, more rumors. OpenAI and Jony Ive.
Yes, this whole story gained momentum after OpenAI's massive $6.5 billion acquisition of Ive's startup, I/O.
And Sam Altman reportedly told staff this was their chance to do the biggest thing ever.
That's the quote making headlines, yeah, really sets expectations high.
So what do we actually know, or what are the rumors suggesting about this potential device? The WSJ had a report?
Right, the WSJ report mentioned Altman previewing a device internally, and the target they discussed is honestly kind of staggering, shipping 100 million units by late 2026.
100 million by 2026. That's not just a gadget. That's aiming for mass adoption fast.
Yeah.
How are they positioning it?
As potentially a third core device, something that exists alongside your phone and your laptop.
A third device.
And the idea is it's fully aware of your surroundings, your daily life, an ambient AI companion, essentially.
Always aware, seeing, hearing. Now, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo apparently saw prototypes. What did he say about the physical design?
Ku described it as maybe slightly larger than the AI pin, but compact elegant. He compared it to an iPod shuffle.
An iPod shuffle. Okay.
Worn around the neck, cameras, microphones,
Yeah.
and the really striking detail, no screen.
No screen at all. That's
Yeah.
a major departure. So what's the significance here? Why is this a big deal?
Well, OpenAI seems to be betting heavily that combining their AI power with IVE's design expertise can finally make AI wearables work where others, frankly, haven't quite landed.
Right. The Humane Pin, the Rabbit R1, mixed results.
Exactly. And the screen-free approach is central to that bet. It forces a different kind of interaction. But the massive question really is trust. Will people embrace an always listening, always aware AI device?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Okay.
And speaking of hardware ambitions, there's also Apple. Reports suggest they're accelerating their own AI glasses project.
Yes, Bloomberg reported that. They seem to be targeting a late 2026 launch as well, aiming right at Meta and their Ray-Ban smart glasses partnership.
Which has seen some success, right?
Yeah.
So what features are rumored for Apple's version?
Pretty much what you'd expect. Cameras, mics, speakers. The idea is for Siri to analyze the real world, handle calls, music, navigation, maybe live translation. Standard smart glasses stuff.
And prototype production is supposed to start soon, end of this year.
That's the timeline mentioned. Sources apparently claim they'll be better made than Meta's, but a similar concept overall.
Okay, better build quality, maybe.
Yeah.
But the report also highlighted some internal worries at Apple.
This is the really interesting part. There's apparently concern inside Apple that their own AI capabilities aren't strong enough yet.
Oh.
That the glasses might rely too much on third-party tech like Google Lens or even OpenAI instead of a powerful integrated Apple intelligence that could really undermine the whole point of the product.
If the core AI isn't Apple's and isn't seamless, yeah, that's a potential problem, especially if it's rushed. The timeline was moved up.
Reportedly, yes. Accelerated from an original 2027 plan. And this comes as they've apparently shelved plans for camera-equipped Apple Watches. Seems like a shift in focus.
So, summing this up, why does this matter for you, the listener?
It highlights that Apple, already seen by many as lagging a bit in the AI software race, is now scrambling to catch up in AI-centric hardware too.
Right.
And if they rush these glasses out before their own AI is truly competitive, especially compared to what OpenAI might be planning, they might not deliver that compelling experience users expect from Apple. It's a tricky spot for them.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, let's step back from the big hardware stories. It felt like there was a ton of other AI news this week, too.
Oh, absolutely. The sources covered a lot of ground. Just a few highlights.
Go for it.
Mistral released Document AI. That's an enterprise tool for pulling text from documents, images, claims 99% accuracy, thousands of pages a minute.
Okay, enterprise focus there.
We already talked about Anthropic's Claude Code platform being generally available, along with those new APIs for building agents.
Right.
Amazon is testing something called Hear the Highlights. It's AI audio summaries for products based on reviews and details.
Like a quick audio rundown? Neat.
MIT researchers developed CAVMAE Sync, an AI model that learned to match video frames and sounds without labels, just figuring out the connection itself.
Unsupervised learning, always interesting.
Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei made that bold prediction. A billion-dollar company with just one employee, maybe as soon as 2026.
Wow. Ties back to those powerful coding models, I guess.
Definitely. And underpinning all this, that chip Oasis deal, OpenAI, SoftBank, others partnering with the UAE for a huge 1 gigawatt data center in Abu Dhabi.
Using NVIDIA's latest Grace Blackwell chips. Massive infrastructure investment.
And finally, Vercel, the V0 platform folks, unveiled their own model, Token Titan. Huge context window, 128K tokens, and it apparently auto-fixes coding errors.
Okay, that's quite a list. From enterprise tools to fundamental research to infrastructure.
It covers the spectrum. Now, should we quickly run through some of those trending tools mentioned in the sources?
Yeah, let's do that. What got your eye?
Okay, DevStral, which is Mistral's new open source coding model. Shopify AI, new tools using AI to help merchants with design, business tasks.
That's a Google Labs thing, right?
Yeah.
Turning ideas into UI designs.
Yep. And Bagel, ByteDance's open source multimodal foundation model.
Cool.
Terabox was mentioned for helping transform academic papers, presentations with AI. Portal for creating videos and images quickly from prompts.
Right. And overhyped. That sounded like a user onboarding tool.
Yeah, using an AI voice agent to guide users, improve product adoption. And lastly, CodeRev, for analyzing your code and getting feedback to improve your skills.
So tools for developers, creators, businesses. Quite a mix.
A little bit of everything, seems like.
You know, this deep dive really brings it home. We're seeing AI models like Anthropic's become these powerful, almost autonomous assistants, especially in complex areas like coding.
Right.
And at the same time, we're hearing about these potential new devices from OpenAI, maybe Apple, designed to be constant, aware companions, always listening, always processing your environment.
It's a convergence of powerful software and potentially pervasive hardware.
Exactly. So the thought to leave you with is, how might your relationship with technology fundamentally change, maybe even in just the next year or two, as these capabilities become more integrated into your daily life?
It's definitely something to think about as this all unfolds, and we really encourage you to follow AI Brief so you can catch our future deep dives where we'll keep unpacking the latest from the sources.
Absolutely. And if you found this conversation helpful, please share it with anyone else you think would find these insights valuable. Thanks for joining us.